Good afternoon, my friends. I'm going to be reading today's article, which is entitled, just a moment, The Downfall of Occupy Burlington, How to Bring It Back. At the last GA, I found a lack of will to even discuss the possibility of another encampment. Then why call it Occupy? Why not just call it 99% and have 10 people march on Sunday while the people on Church Street laugh at us? Let's face it, for us to have credibility, to have bigger numbers, we need tents, even in the cold, at least as a symbolic resistance, as a return to encampment. There is no law that I know of that says we can't camp at Battery Park. It is far away enough from the lake as not to be too cold, and there are methods we have used to keep warm: hot rocks, bicycle generator, etc. I did not even bring it up at GA, as I saw a total lack of will to even consider the matter. I do not pretend to know how to bring back the leaderless movement. I think first and foremost, though, we need to have more willpower, more determination, more recruits, and more ideas. Sure, you can't arrest an idea, but it seems the old idea of rebellion in the community is fading already, and we must do something drastic to stop it. I'd like to bring things up at GAs. I don't shy away from talking to a crowd, but I prefer in general to deal with things internally. We must appear at least to have a united front. When there is differences, I talk to my allies, who use their influence in committees to bring things up, or talk directly to those I have differences with. Of course, this does not always work, and I may have to end up speaking to a crowd again. Maybe when I speak, I won't be as brief as last time. I felt I said what was needed to be said, but it fell on deaf ears, or was not taken seriously. In case those of you who were with me that night, day of the tragedy and takeover from the city, as I could not find Taylor's video where I spoke, this is what I said, and I have gathered the strength to discuss it even openly now. Mic check. I see this all as a test, whether you are occupier or not occupier. If you are an occupier, go to the teepee and do not let them take you over your dead body. Instead, the occupiers fell into a trap that could easily be predicted. Just briefly, they stayed outside the teepee, then let the chief of police and mayor lure us into City Hall, while they took over the rest of the camp. What lesson can we learn from this? I am convinced had we converged on the teepee and only sent a small contingent to City Hall, we would be camping in the remaining tents and teepee community center right now. Instead, the teepee was destroyed, and the city demanded money from us, using kids on community service to clean up the park, which the media has refused to cover. But let us not dwell on what ifs. What can we do for a new camp? What did I learn after going to occupy Boston? Firstly, I attended an hour-long safety meeting in the library tent with the Bostonites, a war military tent I had slept in, with a wide range of books from Che Guevara to Mahatma Gandhi. It is not an understatement to say that they are way ahead of us, having been in safety myself in the Burlington camp, even stopping a fight from happening. They have walkie-talkies, a guy who looked like an ex-cop. You have to observe for a week as part of the safety before you can act. They deal with gangs non-violently, and it's amazing. I admire the Bostonites, how they have stood their ground unlike us or the New Yorkers. In fact, I am proudly from Boston originally. I returned from Boston with the intent to try to bring people with tents and to stick it out. I have been disappointed so far, to say the least. One thing the Bostonites did, and I have a picture of it, to show the permanency of their encampment near Stell Station, is erect a statue of Gandhi. It is hard for cops to want to take over a camp when they have already a statue on it. They have a tent with different themes, like the spiritual tent where I talked with the Guru, a humble man from India with a long beard. We arrived in the early hours of Sunday, before people from New Hampshire and other areas, including students, came for the day, as they do every weekend. And of course, you had the regulars, comrades, occupiers on wearing safety, area where there is charity, etc., similar to the Burlington camp, but again, more permanent, as many city camps are. To be fair, one of the advantages of the Burlington camp is that Burlington is a relatively small community. Therefore, many people were acquainted beforehand and had worked on similar projects. At the same time, the people in the movement are friendly to outsiders, including myself, as prior to this I was a resident of Middlebury, not Burlington. I was subsequently homeless, as many others were, when the camp was closed, as it was a personal blow to me, especially since I just started using the new teepee we built, which the city eventually destroyed, as they admitted to be cowardly over the phone. Mayor Kiss, who I was acquainted with, refused to see me. What conclusions can we reach on this defeat, and how can we, in spite of the loss of a battle, win the war, so to say? We need more allies, safe houses for the homeless, pressure on the city, cops, and media. Yes, pressure, not sucking up and giving our dignity away. One man got shot. That does not reflect the whole camp. We, we need to network, not just online, but on the streets. Then and only then can we start to bring more people out, gain the respect of the public, which is more important than the authority and power. If you want to be a people's or democratic movement, we need to appeal to the people for support directly. The state failed us. We did the job of the state, and they stabbed us in the back. We need to be more aggressive and realize we are right, and we should not be intimidated. But they should. Action now. Thank you, my friends and comrades.